The first day that I met Chester, I remember knocking on the door, walking in, and he had the best posture of anybody that I had ever seen. His arms were crossed. He had a very confident look and a very dignified air about him, and I just found him beautiful, in a word. After talking to Chester and getting to know him after a few visits, what I found concerning was that he did not feel it was important to take his medication and didn't really understand the consequences of that. So no matter how many times we talked about it, visit after visit, it was clear from his blood work that he was not taking his medication. It finally came to one visit where I had to knock on the door and really brace myself to have more of a stern conversation with Chester, to really tell him that if he continued to not take his medication, he was really risking death at the end of the day. So when we went in, it was myself and a resident, and we started talking to Chester about this. He became very defensive, and our exchange became a little bit more heated than it was before.
The first visit with Dr. Prakash really didn't go so well. We kind of like bumped heads a little bit because I was really sick at the time. Wasn't taking my medicine. She kind of got on me about it, and she told me what I needed to do to get things correctly, and she turned around and started to walk out of the room. And
he raised his hand and he said, "And by the way, you have split ends." And in as mature a manner as possible, I replied, "No, I don't." And he replied, "Yes, I do. I'm a stylist. I'm sorry I noticed these things."
And I even told her where she went and got her hair cut at the last time it was cut, because can't call the name of the company. She doesn't go there now, to make a long story short.
I was mortified. And I thought in my mind I could either cut him off and tell him, "Chester, this is not about my split ends. This is about your disease and you not taking your medications." I had the option of ignoring it, or I had the option of really deepening our relationship and making it based on values and trust. And so I turned back around and I calmly told him, "Okay, Chester, you know what? Let's make a deal. I will clean up my act with my hair if you start taking your medication." It was as simple as that. He said, "Agreed, you have a deal," and we shook on it. Over the next several months, we would visit each other once a month. I would have to prep my medical student or my resident about the different language that Chester and I had, whereby I would open the door. We wouldn't greet each other with hello. We would greet each other with eye contact. I would walk in, I would turn around, he would inspect my hair, give me my report card, and then I would turn around and give him his. At first, my hair was an F, and Chester clearly wasn't taking his medication. By the end of those next several months, my hair went from an F to an A+, because I had cleaned up my split ends, and Chester's disease was under control. He had been taking his medication. But most importantly, I got to know my patient. I got to know Chester, about his life, about his work, things that were meaningful to him, and he got to know those things about me as well. And so it goes back to that sacred doctor-patient relationship, which really reminds me of why I chose this profession in the first place, and he really is an inspiration to me. You remember the first time we met?
I remember the first day, yes.
What do you remember? What I said or my hair?
I remember both. I remember.
Go ahead.
You came in and you said, "Mr. Burton, all I can do is help you. I can't make you take your medicine. But if you want to live, you need to take your medicine. You really need to take your medicine." And we made an agreement that if you get your ends cut, that every time I came and I checked your hair, I would take my medicine. So far, you have brought me back to life. Yeah, I think if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be here now. Honestly. You, as far as the doctor goes, I've had probably 6, but you have been my favorite. You have stuck by me. You made me healthy. And I appreciate that.
That means a lot to me, Chester. And you have been a joy and an inspiration to me.
Even though I pick on you
as well.
all the time.
I know, but that's how I know I'm loved.